Hi, it's Greg from episode 7 of How I Vegan podcast. Last year, I started an accessories brand called Assisi Style, creating belts and wallets from cork, a wonderful natural leather alternative that's both vegan and sustainable. So far, I've designed belts and wallets in classic black and brown, with a new two-tone wallet and 2 new handbag designs on the way, just in time for Christmas. Each piece comes in a stylish gift box, so they make the ideal gifts for hard-to-buy-for vegans. Visit my website, assisi.style, to view the current range. That's ASSISI.style. Use the voucher code HELLO20 for an extra 20% off our already discounted prices on your first order. Assisi Style. Kindness accessorized.
Hello.
Good evening.
How's things?
You know,
As good as that.
yeah. A quick notice from me.
Oh, yeah, notices. Go.
Towards the end of the last episode, I mentioned something about cancer,
Yeah.
and I didn't get to say it in the episode, so I'm just going to finish it off.
Go for it.
That I'm not saying that vegans can't get cancer. I am fully aware of that. I was merely making a point that the likelihood of you getting cancer, specific forms of cancer, are significantly reduced.
That's it. It's, yes, things like, isn't it colon cancer, prostate cancer?
Some forms of breast cancer, I believe.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
think that's in the China study, isn't it? I think I read that. Oh, no, I didn't read it. I'll tell you where I got that. That was from Peter, the Peter talk at Vegan Camp Out, the first year we went, 2022.
Gotcha.
That's where I learned that, which is quite a shocker for me. So anybody that has moaned, because we're recording this the day the previous episode went out, so when you're hearing this, if you have moaned or thought that Wes is a right knob, which I am, I didn't mean we're invincible. I just merely meant your risks are reduced. And why hasn't Cancer Research UK and other organisations made a point about that?
Yes. Money from that's what the health was about a lot, wasn't it?
Not seen it.
Okay, so it was one of the things that they noticed was that in the US, a lot of those sorts of charities were funded in huge amounts by the meat and dairy agriculture industries. So it was not in their interest to tell the truth, because they would have lost huge amounts of funding.
Yeah.
So there we go. Check out What the Health if you haven't seen it. Anyway, our guest is in the lobby. So
wow.
Why don't we let her in straight after this message?
Coffee with milk, please.
We only have plant milk. Is that okay?
Stop! It's not okay. And if something like this has happened to you, you need to call me, Seymour Loudermilk, right now. If you've had your feelings hurt by a vegan, you could be entitled to compensation.
Oat milk, soy milk, almond milk?
No thanks. I'll have louder milk. And I'll see you in court.
Get more with Seymour. Call 866-8-VEGANS. 8vegans.com.
It's so sweet.
You love that, don't you?
It's almost
like we're professional.
Almost like you know what you're doing.
Almost.
I mean, at least you're recording. At least you're recording.
At least I'm recording. All right. How long is that going to go on for? Today's guest is an author and activist. She's published a vegan book for children called Nero, the Brave Little Bull, which you can order from the Viva website. She spoke on the education stage at Vegan Camp Out this year, calling out petting zoos. And if you're in Canterbury in Kent on November the 1st, you can see her at the UK's first vegan theatre, where she'll be speaking following a screening of the fantastic film I Could Never Go Vegan. All this, and I haven't even got to mention the fact that she's appeared in Hollyoaks and Emmerdale. Our guest is
Wow.
Jodie, aka Green Vegan. Welcome.
Hello.
Good Lord,
Thanks
that's
for joining
a
us.
lot of things.
I know, yeah, I don't really know where to start with that. Tell us about I Could Never Go Vegan, because you're speaking there on the 1st of November. And I was going to say the name of the theatre, but I wasn't sure if it was Garling or Garlinge.
Well, I always say Garlinge, so if I've been saying
Okay, fine. Let's go with that.
Someone's going to pull me up on it as one of you. But yeah, it's World Vegan Day. It's on World Vegan Day, and they're doing a special screening of the fantastic film I Could Never Go Vegan, which was screened at the camp out as well, a vegan camp out.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get to see that because it was so hot. I had a little almost fainted and had to go outside of the tent. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the final part of it that I didn't get to see. And then preceding that, we're doing our talk that we did also at the vegan camp out about children's petting farms, or petting farms in general, which we made a mini documentary about this year. And we've been really lucky, and we've had 20.6k views, I think, on that.
Wow.
And we're starting a hashtag trending, petting farm truth. Just
nice.
because it all stemmed from a book that I wrote about a rescue bull. Well, here he is, little Nero.
I literally thought you were going to bring him in.
I'd love to, but you know what? He would come as well. He would come. He's renowned at the sanctuary for being so gentle giant and being with all the kids and stuff. And he was raised on a petting farm. And it was, I kind of wrote the book about that. And lots of people, I mean, it's very gently depicted. We sat with experts to make it suitable for children, you know. But lots of parents started contacting me, asking me about petting farms. What's a petting farm? So I thought, well, obviously, we're not making enough noise about this. And we made the documentary. And then my dream came true in that I spoke at the camp out about it as well. And we've done other talks and things. And I just really feel passionate to get this information out there, because I don't think people, we're very quick to criticize each other as vegans. We go, oh, you're doing this, you're doing this stuff. But we don't actually look in our own kind of backyard and at, you know, our education and how much we know. And I think it's all about raising awareness about petting farms, because people take their kids to these places, they're bottle feeding the lambs. I think it's all happy and clappy.
Yeah.
And they don't really look at anything beyond that, which isn't necessarily their fault. They've just not had that education about that yet. And so that's kind of my job at the moment, to do a talk at the theatre and then continue this petting farm.
Yeah, fantastic. So the inspiration then for the book is obviously a real bull. How did you get to know the bull? Yeah, how did you get to know the bull? What's the story there?
So, I mean, it's a long story, and people often say to me, "Oh, you're the rescuer." I wasn't. There was a whole host of people involved in that, which I'm very grateful for, and also public and people who donated money that if they hadn't of, not only would he not be here, but the book wouldn't be here as well. His plight was highlighted by a volunteer that was working at a petting farm, and he contacted some people on social media about him because he was going to be sent to market. She wanted to rescue him and some help to rescue him. And so he was rescued, and he went to live his first 2 years out at a sanctuary in Warwickshire called Fars. That was primarily for sheep, but it was the only place that had a space at the time, so it was better that he go there and have sheep friends than be where he was going to end up. And then he's very lucky now to be at the Retreat Animal Sanctuary in Kent, which is just the most wonderful place that I can ever imagine. It's the founder, Billy Thompson. He's also written some books. He goes around kissing all the animals goodnight, and he just honestly, he is the most wonderful man I've ever met, and he just cuddles them and just makes sure they all have so much love. And he's been a great educator and help to myself as well. And you know, that's how the book came about, and then obviously the documentary I think that, there's a very distinct lack of awareness out there about petting farms because they're so cleverly marketed. I think that, we see this happy, clappy, fun day out, and our kids are happy, and we're feeding calves and lambs, and there's a play park, and there's no green van. But what is beyond that? As a life of the animal beyond that? And I think that marketing is very, very clever. It can trick people to thinking something that is good when it's really not good at all. And so, yeah, that's my campaign this year to raise petting farm awareness. So everyone, share the hashtag petting farm to let this information out there.
I love that. I mean, pre-vegan, I did it. Took the kids, and one year my daughter fed a lamb. Yeah, that's absolutely, and not a thought about what happened next. Not a thought, because we just didn't know.
Yeah, and I think that's what.
But now we do.
About this community is that we do help each other and educate each other, because just because we're at one stage of the journey, someone else might not be yet. Not to say that we won't reach that stage, but I think we're very easily critical of each other about what we don't know. When we need to kind of grow the education circle and make people aware of stuff. I was talking about this with someone today. It's when I was I hate to say this, but when I was a vegetarian, I thought that eggs were like, put chickens round acres of fields. I didn't know that.
Yep.
The system as it is. So I think that we'll have to be a bit kind to each other in the education journey. Of course, there are people that know stuff and don't care, but there are also an awful lot of people that don't know, genuinely don't know.
That's it. So tell us about the book then. That's obviously inspired by the real life Nero. Who's it aimed at? What's the sort of market, I guess?
So
who should be buying it for Christmas is what I'm saying.
Well,
nice.
Yeah.
God, he's on fire tonight.
I've been we've been, it's a non-profit book. It all goes to the sanctuary. And the Retreat Sanctuary were very kind in donating a lot of the books to this first sanctuary that brought Nero up like he's a little one, but he is to all of us. And it's just kind of like, it's just grown in a way that I'm so grateful for. So it is aimed at, we did aim it at kind of like 5 to 7 year olds, but I've also had adults message me and say, "Oh, we bought your book and we've read it," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." People from all walks of life have bought it, because there's the whole, without giving too much away, there is, obviously the depicted pictures of Nero, about his journey, and you go through the book and you see all the pictures of Nero, and then you get to the back and then you see the real him. So it's kind of
lovely.
They get to the end and they're like, "Oh wow!" And lots of people have then gone and visited as well, which is really nice. So we've raised thousands of pounds for the sanctuary, and I'm very grateful. I just would like to say this on here to all of the people, to anyone that donated £1 to £100, have shared things on social media that helped get here this, because it's been fabulous, and it wouldn't have been anything without the support of the community and the public as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So I mentioned that it's on the Viva website. Is that the best place to get hold of it, or is there?
It's also on Animal Aid. It's at the Retreat Sanctuary itself, because that's obviously where Nero is. There are a few other independent stockists. I'll struggle to remember them all.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because it's a non-profit book. They have also sold it for us, which I'm so grateful for. We've got Dash Vegan, which are a vegan website, and they've now got their own shop. We've got Vegan Haven, we've got Little Green Basket. We've got, oh my goodness me, we've got so many places selling News from Nowhere books in Liverpool. just really grateful. If I've missed anyone, by the way, I am really sorry. When I have a terrible memory. So if you are one of the stockists of Stock Our Book, and I'm very grateful to you and I haven't mentioned you, please forgive me. And
Yeah, we
then
don't want you to get cancelled.
You're hoping that they're listening to us.
I'm like, oh my God. There's a yeah, I should have my phone, shouldn't I? Reeling them all off.
It's all good. It's all good.
There's a vegan hairdressers here on the Wirral that are selling it as well. You know,
What? Hold on, there's a vegan hairdressers.
yeah, there's a vegan hairdressers
That
use
is awesome.
vegan products. They've got it in the front while people are waiting. And then it's gone across to Spain now. I was going to translate it into Spanish, but English school where Spanish kids go to learn English have got it, and they're using it part of their lesson plan.
Brilliant.
A sanctuary in United States contacted me, a cow sanctuary, and they're like, we'd like to bring it across to America and get it in some shops here as well.
Wow.
So I mean, it's fabulous, but I'm not wanting the ego to be on my front, because it's all about Nero, and it's all about not just him, but the ones that get left behind. And I hope that his story will inspire people to take their kids to sanctuaries and rescue centres instead of petting farms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Love that. Okay.
I was going to say, next time you're up here, Matthew, we'll take a drive over to the Wirral and go to the hairdressers.
What, to the vegan hairdresser?
But there wouldn't be any point.
Well, no, that's not true, because we could
Beard
read the book.
trimming.
What part of the country are you guys in?
So we're both originally Northampton. Matthew's still in Northampton, and I'm near Rochdale.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Not that far then.
No,
so you could do it, Wes. That's a journey.
I could do it. Yeah,
you could reasonably
I
make.
might take a drive on a Saturday afternoon. Could you
just go to get my hair cut?
Yeah, get my beard trimmed.
Yeah.
We don't do beards, mate. Oh, sorry.
Let's give it a shout out, Jodie, so that people with hair can go and visit. What's the name of the?
It's called
song?
Seesaw Hairdressers, and it's in Birkenhead on the Wirral.
Oh, what was the first bit? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Oh, it's called Seesaw.
Seesaw.
Like the letter C, and then saw. Oh. Seesaw.
Wow.
I don't use a saw for your hair, did they? Seesaw. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
There we go. Okay, we'll tag them in our Instagram post. Awesome. Cool. Okay. Well, tell us about what's the ultimate origin story then? What's your vegan story?
My vegan story. So I was vegetarian, and I wish I'd have been vegan from birth, but I wasn't that fortunate.
Don't
That
we all?
would have been my kind of life goal, but that's my mother's fault. But she's vegan now, and was before me, so that's a good thing. And I was vegetarian, and I had. So for me, I wish the awareness of the animals had come first, but it became to me via health reasons. So I had an ovarian cyst, and it was growing, and it was very big. And I was told by medics before, we think about operating or this or that, try cutting out dairy. So I said, okay, whatever, we'll give it a go. So I had no dairy for about 6 months, and it reduced by it was 10 centimeters to 4 centimeters. I can't remember the exact figure.
Wow.
So I went back and I said, what's going on? And they were like, well, dairy's full of growth hormones. It's 10 into a 600-pound cow. So all of these growth hormones are contributing to your ovarian cyst. And I was like, wow. So I started researching PCOS. And then I started thinking, dairy does that to cyst. What does it do to cancer cells? And then I was thinking about what she said about growth hormones. So I looked into the dairy industry. And my mother had been different. Like when you're vegan and you tell other people and they don't listen. So I started looking into it, and I was like, oh my God. And the cruelty, the abhorrent cruelty, then became really apparent to me. And I was like, how did I not know this as a vegetarian? But it's back to that whole thing of marketing, farm fresh. happy cows.
Yeah.
Field. And I think that is the problem with the whole of the industry. People just don't see beyond what we're sold in a packet.
Yeah. And cows make milk.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if you didn't drink it, we'd be swimming in the stuff, wouldn't we?
Exactly. So I just stopped straight away then. That was it. Went vegan. Started a blog and Instagram showing people how to cook vegan food. People like, oh, that age-old question, what do you eat? And so I thought I'd show them, and then that developed into teaching a passion for animals, then the book, then the documentary, which we just won an award for, by the way. I'm pleased about on Film Freeway. And then it kind of evolved from there. And yeah, so my husband is now vegan as well. When I went vegan, he wasn't vegan, and I just kept trying to educate him.
McFlying him.
Yeah.
Well, people who I work with ask me how I did that, and I said gentle persuasion, and my line manager said, I don't really think you have gentle persuasion in your skill.
Maybe not at work.
No.
No.
But then he's now vegan, and he has successfully managed to incorporate veganism in the workplace with the NHS, where we've worked.
Oh, that's incredible.
Because they weren't very inclusive of that. So he's managed to make that change, and we're now doing a campaign for veganism in the workplace. So it's been a long and very gratifying journey.
That's incredible.
But like other people, I wouldn't have been able to travel this journey without the support and a community of the lovely people that we have.
I was just going to say, just in the intro that we did before you joined us, we talked very briefly about veganism being the healthy option, and how for some reason why cancer charities don't promote that as a way of reducing or preventing certain types of cancer. And the NHS has got a massive part to play in that. And just you saying that threw me back to when I used to work with some people in the NHS, and they all smoked like chimneys. And I couldn't believe it. It just blew my mind that people whose job, and it's not just a job, is it? It's a calling, really. Your whole thing is about making people as well as you can make them.
Yeah.
And they're all standing outside the buildings puffing away. It's like, what the hell is going on?
And this is my argument with nutrition, is that
it's the same thing.
I'm not, commenting on drugs or vaccines or what they do and don't do, because that's people's personal choice. But I think that we should at least be giving our bodies a chance with phytonutrients and building up our immunity as well. And I used to see when we had COVID, I'd see people standing in line waiting for their vaccine with a McDonald's bag, and I'd think to him, well,
what's the point? Yeah.
And everyone likes a bit of junk food. Of course I do. Of course I'm not going to sit here and say I never eat chips, I never eat, a Linda McCartney vegan sausage bath. But I think that most people, we've got into this culture of relying on the cure rather than the prevention.
Yes,
and
it's an addiction.
Our bodies in the first place. And so
there was a video someone shared with me a couple of years back. It was about a guy that did a juice retreat somewhere in Europe, somewhere. Can't remember where it was. But he'd done all this research, and it was basically about living on a juice diet for like 6 months or whatever, and the health benefits from doing that. But there was one little clip he put in it where it was like a fish in a fish tank, and you give the fish food and it's all fine, but then you're having a can of Coke and you accidentally spill some Coke in the fish tank. Instead of clearing the fish tank out and not giving the fish any more Coke, you give it a pill to say this will get rid of your thing. But the pills then got other things that added to it that make it have other problems. So it gets given another pill. And that's literally what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're going, you're eating shit, here's a pill to counteract it that comes with these side effects that you're going to need another pill for. And there was one bloke in particular in this documentary. He was on 56 tablets a day.
Wow.
And by the end of I don't know if it was 6 weeks or 6 months that they were living in this retreat, no more meds. Medicine clear.
And I think that's the misconception that people have as well about veganism, is that vegan automatically means that you're going to be skinny and healthy. But if you're, chips,
you're eating cake.
We've got vegan cake, chocolate, we've got chips, we've got burgers, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's about a whole food plant-based diet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. As we established in our previous episode, if I ate a vegan Kit Kat for the animals. I didn't eat it for my health. It was so that I didn't eat a normal Kit Kat. That's it. It is perfectly simple to eat not healthy as a vegan because there's so much processed stuff about now.
And I think that's
where the whole food is the way forward.
Yeah, and I think that's where the misconception of being vegan is expensive comes from. Because if you are buying packaged, pre-made food, then it is going to be expensive. But if you're buying a packet of red lentils and it lasts 2 weeks whilst mixed with other things, and I think it's about educating yourself to be able to cook and things. Because I absolutely promise you did not know how to switch on the oven. I cooked everything in the microwave. If it didn't go ding, I didn't have a clue. And now I'm eating things that I never grew. I didn't even know what they were before.
Saying about cooking.
Where's his dinner's ready? That might be an edit point. I'm not sure. Fantastic. Hopefully his dinner's not on fire.
It's not mine. It's my daughter's because she's at music and she said, "Can you put me thingy in the oven before at 7:30?" I'm back. Sorry about that. How rude.
Okay.
Sorry.
So you mentioned about your mum now being vegan and you've turned your husband vegan as well.
Turned.
Well done you. So what did your other friends and family think about it? Or what did your husband and your mum think in the first instance?
Well, my mum was vegan before me.
Right.
And then afterwards I went vegan, and then my husband was vegan. I think, people in our circle were very lucky that we have people that are very accepting of that. But I tend my circle is vegan, so I'm not gonna go to a steakhouse with someone and just eat the chips because that's not who I am. And so I think, you do get your anti-vegan people, and you do get your people who will make jokes about, well, do you not want a dead cow on your plate and whatever else they say. But I think that I've just got to I was going to say learn to be more tolerant. Yeah, learn to be more because I think that is, again, back to that thing of lack of education.
Yes.
Because people don't understand what goes on behind the curtain, the process. I think that, if they did, they might see things in a different way.
Yeah. Connect the dots.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's a good point. I think education and like with your book, that's a great way of doing it because that's educating the child who's looking at it, but also the parent who's reading it to them, or the grandparent or whoever. It's like getting both ends.
Yeah, and people constantly say to me, "Why did you choose a children's book?" And I say, because I think things are really ingrained. Because, like this, happy eggs, farm fresh. Things are very ingrained in our brains and start to plant seeds when we see images. We're very affected by images. But not only that, in that I feel like now we are trying to undo generations of preconceived ideas of what happens in the meat and dairy industry. So I think that sowing the seed from the start is a really important place to start for the next generation, in that they don't grow up with this idea of what a petting farm is. And, you know, it's the book, that's why I'm really, really busy person and I'm constantly on social media answering questions, because the book does not go, this is what it is, and this is horrific, and this is horrible. It gently, gently, gently plants the seed.
Perfect.
Leaving a space for people to come to me and go, well, what is this? What's a petting farm? And then, obviously, yeah.
Love it. Okay. What's the best thing about being vegan?
I think the fact that you are liberating animals and that you're not causing suffering and harm to something else to satisfy your own taste buds. People say to me, oh, is it not the best thing about being vegan that you got rid of your cyst? No, not really. For me, it was the awakening of what happens to the animals that I'm no longer a part of.
Love that. That's a good one.
What do you think's been the biggest struggle?
Cheese.
Yes.
I can't get away from cheese.
No, I actually, we make our own cheese out of cheese now and things, but I think the biggest struggle is learning to be more tolerant, because I think when I was a vegetarian, you'd be like a little bit ruffled by things. I think when you become vegan and your mind opens and you're aware of all this stuff, you become much less tolerant of things, and you really have to kind of watch, what you say, because if you go screaming at someone or, confrontational, that just makes them back off. So I think the hardest thing is not being able to say, can't you see this?
Yeah.
Because you have to then step back and think, well, hold on, I was one of the people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. We were all pre-vegans once, weren't we?
So yeah.
This is the thing. Yeah, that's a good shout. And sometimes it is really difficult. I find that hard with friends and family, especially. What are you doing?
It's a horrible thing to think, because but I was one of those people. I was not educated on that path, so I think that tolerant is probably the hardest thing.
Yeah. No, I get it. Absolutely. Okay, right. Some quick fire questions for you. Favorite quick meal?
Oh, macaroni cheese.
Oh, that's a good one. What do you use for the cheese with a Z?
I'll make it with nutritional yeast, milk, and cashews.
Yes, love it.
Wow.
Just whiz it up in a blender.
I haven't managed the cashews yet. We haven't got the right blender.
Oh.
It ends up coming out like chalk.
Next time you come down, Wes, I'll get Lou to make it, because she does a really good mac and cheese.
Fair enough.
Yes, that's a good one. Lovely.
Vegan and cheese. What's your favourite vegan food product?
My favourite vegan food product. Processed or non? Well, yeah.
Anything you want.
You know what?
Anything. We've had so many from.
We've had the chickpea.
My favourite vegan non-processed product is the broad bean, frozen broad beans. I love them at the moment. I put them in everything. I put them in spaghetti. I put them with salad. I put them so versatile. Love them. My favourite processed that I'm partial to every now and again is the classic Linda McCartney sausage.
Oh, okay. We've had that one for a while. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. The OG vegan sausage, or one of them, wasn't it?
Mm.
Okay. All right.
Make them into meatballs and everything.
Okay. Favorite vegan not food product?
Shea butter.
Oh, shea butter.
Shea butter. Goes on everything. On your body, on your face, on your knees, on your fingers, and your hair. Shea butter. But I suppose then it is vegan, but yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Okay.
Fair play.
Love that. All right. Favourite vegan restaurants?
The Vibe in Liverpool.
Yes, I've been there.
Have you been?
Yes,
It's amazing.
loved it.
They do this vegan fried egg, which is just,
Oh, wow.
it's just so
Vegan
real.
fried egg.
Vegan fried, but it's called a veg, as in vegan egg.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was incredible. Incredible. I took a friend there that wasn't vegan. I was like, just try this. Oh my God.
No way.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten about the Vibe. I'll have to go back there.
And what
Good.
about your favourite vegan people? Like friends, family, or celebrities?
Okay. My favourite vegan people with number one has got to be my husband because of the changes and the development he's made. And for someone who ate anything with legs and a face, he has made the most incredible journey. Not from just not eating meat. He now rings me and he goes, "Oh my God, there's a bird in the road. I think it's got a broken wing. I need you to come help me." And he's become the most
Oh,
God's little helper to animals. And
oh,
someone asked him, it was actually Billy Thompson from the Retreat Sanctuary and Neil, and they asked him, what's the best thing you like about Jodie? And he said, she's changed me and made me see things. And I thought,
Oh, wow.
get all emotional.
oh, he's the keeper. That one. Wow,
And obviously
that's fantastic.
my vegan other favourite vegan person, my vegan crush, is Billy Thompson from the Retreat Sanctuary. He's the most fantastic educator. Spent his whole life rescuing animals. He's got 2 books, and The Animal in Me and Earth Boy, and he is just he's probably the closest thing to an angel without wings.
Oh,
And then I used to really be in love with Joaquin Phoenix, but people now are telling me he's been ragging horses, which really upsets me. In Napoleon.
Yeah.
But then, you just
do as much as you can. And he might have felt he needed to for whatever reason. He did make a statement, didn't he, afterwards and stuff?
yeah. But yeah. Oh yeah, that's my little gang. Obviously, my mother is a great inspiration.
My little gang.
My little gang. Yeah.
tribe.
Fabulous.
Jodie, how did you end up at the Retreat Sanctuary in Kent when you're on the Wirral?
That's a very good point.
What
You said
that
Kent,
sounds like
that's definitely
it's
like
a long way to go to stroke a bull.
So Nero, when he was, so they were obviously looking for somewhere else for him to go when he was at Fars because he was with all the sheep. He used to go ba, they used to go ba, and he'd go moo and ba. And they'd talk to each other. They were looking for somewhere else for him to go, and he developed cancer in his eye, and he had a big lump, and they were going to have to remove the eye. And he went to the retreat for an operation, and they saved his eye.
Oh.
He was in recovery, and obviously they were waiting for a space there anyway. And he was made us so many friends there, and he was with us. He was like, "Oh my God, there's other beings like me." And while he was in recovery, he was bonding, and I went to see him, and I was like, "Oh my God, if I moved him now out of here to somewhere closer to be, it would just be for my own selfish reasons.
Yeah.
What's best for him."
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw the care, literally an eyelash falls out from an animal at the retreat, and they are on it like a car bonnet. The animals there just are so well cared for that I thought, this is the place I want him to be. I can't be there kissing him goodnight. Billy does it. Sometimes in the winter he goes around putting hay on them all, like a duve hay. He really is a proper animal dad. And when Nero first went there, I couldn't get down there straight away because it's not round the corner.
Yeah.
We were going on holiday to Cornwall, and we had one day in between before we went on holiday, and my husband said to me, I can see you're stressed to death. Do you want me to drive you to Kent on the way to Cornwall? And he did.
It's literally not on the way.
He drove me to Kent just to make sure Nero had settled in and he was all right. And then we went to Cornwall after that. So, yeah.
That is amazing.
But yeah.
That is incredible. Hell of a diversion.
It was a slight trip.
Yeah, slight road trip.
But yeah, he's so happy there, and he's just loved by everyone so much. So we go there every 3 months, and it's
That's what I was going to say. How often do you go down?
every 3 months we go, and it's a 6-hour trip, sometimes 8 with the lovely Dartford tunnel.
Obviously.
But it's worth it. Just to see him, and he remembers me. He's got a really.
Does he?
Yeah. I remember one time we arrived at night and they were in the barn because they go in the barn for winter. And I opened the door of the barn, I was calling him, and it was pitch black. You could just see silhouettes. Next minute, I felt a little nuzzle on my face and a big cow lick.
Oh, man.
So he's just the most wonderful thing that's brought such joy to my life. I'm so grateful for him. It's amazing.
I've said quite a few times on these podcasts, like, because I was full on carnist beforehand. Like we've talked about it many times, and it's like now I just want to go and hug everything. I just want to go to a farm and just run in there and just cuddle all the animals. And it's like, one, I'd get shouted at and booted off. You know, it is what it is, but whatever.
No, I never. That's the way that is what they are like at the retreat. They just are so lovely with the animals. There's a picture online of Billy Thompson kissing cows and kissing the animals, and you know, when I look at that, I think, wow, Nero is so fortunate to be where he is now, and the journey is nothing compared to his happiness.
No, absolutely. So how old is he now then?
Oh my goodness me, 5.
Nero's 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, that's another thing that is fabulous about where he is. So sometimes I've been there on his birthday.
Oh, wow.
Times I've not been there. So I've left a present with Billy, and Billy has made everyone from the sanctuary come round and sing to him.
Wow.
And this is the kind of place that it is. I've never seen anywhere like it, honestly. It's incredible.
That is amazing. What advice would you give to someone that came to you wanting to go vegan?
Oh, people do that all the time. And sometimes I get criticised for advice that I give. Because sometimes what I will say is for people who are full-on carnists is to kind of go vegetarian, maybe to just fish and chicken, and then go from there to do... Because I think, for me personally, if you are an absolute full carnist, you everything in ostrich, shark, beef, pork, and unless you're a real avid animal lover, you're not necessarily going to go straight to a chickpea burger from that. Whereas if you step down a bit, it might, for some people, you know, they might stay that way rather than... Because I think if people are forced to make change too quickly, change is quite difficult for some people. You know, and I prefer people to be on a whole food plant-based diet. But if giving them a Beyond Burger satisfies what they had before, because I used to be like that, that's why I have to have the Linda McCartney sausages, because I don't feel like they taste very realistic. But if you give me a Beyond one, I'll be like, whoa!
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong that other people really enjoy them, but it's too real for me. And just try and advise people to do things at their pace, what's best for them. You know, if they want to go cold turkey because they really care about animals, that's great. If they find that too difficult, step down, give up a thing at a time. You know, it's like my husband, the last thing that went for him was milk and cheese. But we got there, and now he's full on vegan. Whereas I feel if I'd have taken everything, if I'd have said take everything away at the start, he probably wouldn't.
No.
Done that.
And I think on the day that I went vegan, if I ate from then what I eat now, I think I would have really struggled to keep it up. because your taste buds change over time, and you get used to not eating the stuff that you've been eating for your whole life.
Yeah.
And so then to suddenly cut that out and eat all new stuff, you'd be like, this tastes really weird. And it's not weird, it's just because you're not used to eating it. So yeah, I do get that. If that's, I mean, for some people it's a real, like, it's a decision, that's it, they're going to do it, job done. But I mean, yeah, I do get it that for some people that is going to be the way forward.
I mean, that's what happened to me. You know, I did just go that, but I was vegetarian to start with. I don't know how I would have felt if I'd have gone from being a meat eater to straight to vegan. And I think, you know, people forget things like cheese is very hard because it's full of casein. It's addictive. It's very addictive because of the hormones in it and things. So it's, you know, that is why often that's the last thing to go as well. But we've got some fantastic vegan cheeses now. I mean, Cathedral City have got pretty close. Incredible. I think the people as well, when they tasted the very first vegan cheeses that came out, which were, let's face it, rubberized, disgusting, and they think, oh well, I'm not eating vegan cheese now. But we've come so much further since then. So yeah,
you can even get the little cheese fondues, which are literally, they're phenomenal.
It's amazing.
I mean, I don't know how different they are because I'm like saying taste buds have changed, but it's got that tartiness that I remember, and I'm like, that's good. It's good.
It's incredible
for you. It's terrible. But I'm eating it for the animals. So
for the animals.
Yes.
That's it. Brilliant. I love that. Okay, right. This is our final question, Jodie. And we came up with this one after we'd been talking about, after we discovered the term Vistopia, which is the anguish that vegans feel living in a non-vegan world, coined by Claire Mann. And so...
Fabulous, isn't it? Have you read the book? Yeah.
Love it. So the question is, do you have hope for the future? And I've got to say, I'm just going to preempt this. I'd be really surprised if you say no.
Yes. Yes, I do. Because I didn't used to. I used to get really angry and frustrated and upset and think, oh my goodness me, you know, we're the minority. But when I go and do events and I go to sanctuaries and I literally, like, the whole of the retreat sanctuary is like filled with hundreds of vegans that come, and you hear them speak and you get with the community, you think, these people give you hope. These people build this and these people make you see what the future is. And when they're all together and you can see how this is building and you can see, and I think that people think that change is going to happen overnight. Change takes a long time, but I think change will come because there will be a point when we stop and we think what we are doing to animals is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I love that.
My nan, she very sadly last May. She had colon, pancreatic, and bowel cancer, and I remember it's one of the things that really ingrains in my brain. He was a few days off passing, very sadly, and she said to me, we were talking about something, she said to me, you know, it's really terrible what the things that we do to animals, isn't it?
Wow.
And I was like, wow. She's lived, that's just come into her brain after 80 years, and I think, you know, if she comes back here the next time, she'll probably be conscious of that, and she'd started to ask me questions in her final months. You know, what do you eat for cheese, and why do you do this, and the little questions there. So, you know, and the very last birthday cake that I made her was a vegan one, and she absolutely loved it. And so I think that people can change and do change and will change. That we all develop at different stages, and we have to be compassionate towards each other and help each other learn.
Yeah, and it links back to what you said right at the start about you wish you'd been a vegan since birth. And we all do now, don't we? But
Yeah.
we didn't know, and because the world isn't set up like that.
Yeah.
So it's, well, our world, I guess. In some parts of the world, it's kind of almost a default, isn't it? But whereas some cultures are far more plant-based than we are. But certainly in the UK, it's all about meat and dairy. That's like your staple, isn't it?
It is.
Unfortunately.
Very sad. But,
For now, anyway.
For now. The paradigm will undo at some point.
That's it. We'll get to the tipping point, won't we? And then that's it. Fingers crossed. We'll get there at some point.
We will.
We will. Okay. So, obviously you're going to be in Canterbury in Kent on the 1st of November. Have you got any other talks or presentations or sessions lined up?
Well, after the Garlinge Theatre, I think we're going to take a if we've literally over the last couple of years, and we do all of this, bless him. I've been on a husband promotion scheme. I might as well say he drives me up and down. He pays for fuel. It's all self-funded. We've done the Veg Fest. We've done the camp out. We've done talks at universities. We're doing a theatre in Kent, and most of it is down south. And so, and that's another thing that I just, is wonderful about the community. There's some people from New Beginnings Sanctuary, Alex, Ella, and Chantal, and they are part kind of friends of the retreat, but they've got their own sanctuary called New Beginnings, and they help me out and do events down south, and I do the ones up north.
Brilliant.
Just fabulous. Do you know what I mean? To have that help. But I think, after the theatre, we're probably going to take a little break, just a little break, because we've been at this ever since the book launch. It's full on. It's been exhausting. And then after we've taken a break, we're going to come back, and we're probably going to start designing leaflets about petting farms. Because, when you go to the service station and you pick up a little old MacDonald, tappy clappy rainbow petting farm with a llama on the front and a play park, we're going to make, actually this is what a petting farm is. And try and get the leaflets out there and T-shirts, so people are trending this hashtag as much as they can. So
brilliant. Yeah. Love that. Remind us of the hashtag and we'll put it in the post.
Oh, yeah, it's hashtag petting farm truth. All one.
Love it. Petting farm truth. Okay. Good. I'm going to write that down. Awesome. Okay. And people can find you on Instagram at GreenVegan1.
GreenVegan1, number 1. You can purchase the book from Jennings Plantry online, The Retreat, Animal Aid, Viva. There is a post on my Instagram listing all of the stockists. The documentary is, if you search the hashtag Petting Farm Truth, the documentary will come up on Instagram. And yeah, so. And Nero's book is obviously there as well.
Yes.
Please visit Nero. Say hello to him.
Nero the viral star.
Nero the viral star. I think the fame is getting to his head. Actually,
Is he making these unreasonable demands?
People say, for the people that say animals don't understand. Well, the day of his book launch, he's like
posing for the camera.
The kids are there, and he's like,
love that.
Honestly, and I was looking at him thinking, oh my God, But the loveliest thing was that after we did a story time there at the retreat, we read his story, and then Billy took them all to go and see him. There's this little girl, I'll never forget it, and she was trying to reach up to him. She was like this, trying to reach up to touch him, and he kneeled down to her.
Oh.
And whilst everybody went, oh, isn't that beautiful? I think, well, it's a kind of a double-edged sword, because he's been raised on a petting farm to trust children and trust people.
Oh, yeah.
That's the irony of it. But it was, a lovely thing in itself to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Jodie. That's been awesome. It's been lovely to meet you.
No, you guys as well. So stay in touch, and thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much. And all the best for the future. Any plans for any more books? Is it going to be a series, or is it...
People ask me that all the time, and I think after the things that I've heard about certain films at the moment, with them making a follow-up and a sequel, I think in its own right, Nero is just tells the story, and it's a beautiful story. So I feel like a sequel might ruin that, but I might do, something else about another animal. But yeah,
Well, he's not the only animal in the sanctuary, is he? So.
We'll get Nick Park to do a film on it.
yeah, yes, yeah,
Like the Gruffalo and all of Julia Donaldson stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, be
Yeah,
amazing.
that's a good shout. Good shout.
Thank you so much.
Love that.
Thanks,
Jodie. Lovely to meet you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
There's nothing better than a hunk of prime Labrador steak, wonderfully marbled. And that is almost entirely dependent on how it's produced. Elwood's Organic Dog Meat has complete control of this entire journey. So I'm here at Elwood's farm to find out a little more about it.
Welcome to Elwood Farms.
Thank you very much, Elwood.
I hear you do a bit of barbecuing.
I do a little bit of barbecuing every now and then, yes. From a chef's point of view, consistency is key for everything.
It doesn't matter if it's a Rottweiler ribeye, a Pyrenees mince, or a lab sirloin.
You can always tell when the dog comes from a place where it was well reared. And every step has to be right, doesn't it? Oh, you should see these guys. So, from an Elwood's point of view, there's complete traceability.
Absolutely, unrivaled traceability, so it's fine.
Every single piece of dog meat.
Yeah, from pub to farmer's market.
Everything the dog's been fed.
Everything about it.
For each dog.
Yeah, only Marks and Spencer's and Whole Foods do this.
Where else can people order from?
From elwooddogmeat.com. That's ELWOOD dogmeat.com.
For top quality meat from dogs for people. Meat that's local, sustainable, and humanely harvested. There's only Elwood's Organic Dog Meat. They seem pretty friendly, don't they? They're more responsive to me than my kids, to be honest.
That was a great chat.
That was cracking. It made me laugh when you said about hope, and you were like, you can't say no.
She just comes across as such a positive person, and I thought it would be a real shock if she said no, we're all fucked.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was great. I'm going to. I think we're going to order that book. That might be your surprise Christmas present. I'm not sure.
I might. I'm thinking we've got some friends who have just had a baby, and they have a 2.5, maybe 3, nearly 3-year-old. I'm thinking, and they've been questioning things, and it's like,
oh, here's your chance.
Yes,
get it ordered. Lovely job.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was in this episode. I've forgotten now. I don't know if it was this one or
this
the last one.
What happens when you record 2 in 24 hours? Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing of like showing people, your mates who have kids, the like videos of it, and they'll go, "Can't show that to me, kid." I so want to.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Like, let me come around your house and we'll just put this film on.
Yeah.
It's a great kids film.
Yes. So in our house this year, my daughter has decided that every Friday she wants to watch a horror film because it's Halloween month, apparently.
Dominion!
Well, so I was going to suggest Pignorant.
Pignorant, yes.
I haven't seen Dominion and I don't think I could watch it, but Pignorant is... because it's a documentary, but there's some absolutely horrific things in it. I was going to suggest that, but she went with Shaun of the Dead last week instead. But maybe Pignorant this week. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We haven't discussed Pignorant.
No, I think I'd seen it and you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I have now seen it.
Oh, okay. Tell me.
I think it's amazing.
Yes.
I mean,
agreed.
People can moan about Joey Carbstrong as much as they do, but what he does for animal rights is above and beyond.
Yeah.
And 2 bits that got me. One for him was when the guy said that he was in the gas chamber on the lift, and he went, "The thing is, somebody could come in right now and turn this on.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
What are you doing?
Oh, can you
It's
imagine?
incredible.
And you couldn't do anything because that'd be over.
Yeah.
Oh, either way. You
You'd be
turn
done.
it on, they're dead.
Yeah.
You run out, you're arrested.
You're caught.
You're like,
yeah.
oh no. But what got me, I'm sure it was the pig in that farm that was that couldn't move. And then he set up a camera and went back to it a few days later, and the bloke was beating it.
Yes. Oh God, that was horrible, wasn't it?
Oh, and then while he was doing that, Joey Carlson came on and he went, was it an RSPCA assured farm?
Yeah, there we go.
Or Marks and Spencer's farm or something like that, and it was like, you're fucking joking.
Yeah. Incredible film, and if you want to watch a horror movie, then if you want to get some unsuspecting pre-vegans, I highly recommend that for Halloween.
Have a Halloween party, and that's your film. But just don't tell them you're doing it.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, a bit like Giles and his friends did last year in Stockholm.
Yes,
when they did a secret cinema, and it was. That was Dominion, wasn't it? I think so. Yeah.
We've said before about us being on this side of the fence, and not, we watch stuff and we shouldn't have to. I want to watch Dominion, and I know it's going to hurt, but I feel like I have to.
Yeah. Well, I think we said last time, didn't we, that next time we see each other, we'll try and make it happen.
Okay.
All right, and then we can just. Cry to each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool.
Good. Well, thanks for listening, everyone, and hopefully you've enjoyed that, and you've added Nero the Brave Little Bull to your Christmas list.
Yes.
And
or one of your friends or family's Christmas list.
Yeah, and you will be able to find a link to that book on the show notes, so really there's no excuse not to buy it.
I was thinking,
go on.
I wonder,
you were thinking,
blimey. I think we've had enough guests on that people could literally get everybody a Christmas present from.
We've done, actually, do you know what you've got
Greg.
Yes.
You've got...
so you got Greg for wallets, belts, handbags. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
You got Rory with his game.
Yes. Plants Against Humanity.
You've got...
Plants Against Veganity. Sorry, Rory.
Yes. You've got Jodie and her book.
Yes. And Tina and her book, Vivi the Super Vegan.
Her book, Vivi the Super Vegan.
Yeah. Who else have we got? Let me just have a look down the list. We've got Lauren from Mabel's Vegan Yorkshires for your Christmas dinner.
Yes.
Now taking Christmas orders.
Wow.
We've got...
Oh no, we haven't had Mobius Loop on, have we?
I think we'd remember that. Have we had Mobius Loop on? No, we haven't.
They've got a new album out. Go buy that.
Yes. And if they want to come on and promote it, then absolutely.
Yeah. Now you need to at Mobius Loop.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then they might come in.
We've had Jess from Saving Nemo, so you can order tartar sauce and curry sauce.
Yes, which is amazing.
Yeah, we've had Chris from Loki Foods, which is in Iceland, so if you're in Iceland, you can order something there.
Yes.
Goodness me, there's so much. There's just so much. And we've had Richard Makin on from Anything You Can Cook.
Yes.
I Can Cook. So you can buy somebody a recipe book.
Yeah.
Yes. There's so much.
Anyone that we've missed. Sorry about that. We love you. We do love you all.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Matthew's got a list in front of him. I haven't, so it's his fault.
Yeah. I'm just scrolling through. I think that's everything.
Or if you're in the Littleborough, Rochdale, South East Lancashire, North West Manchester area, come and buy a voucher from my wife's shop.
Yes, the Hygge Hub.
Hygge Hub, yeah.
Hygge Hub. Shell from episode 2. Our guest from episode 2. Sorry, as we call her now.
Yeah. First ancient vegan.
The first, the OG ancient vegan.
Yeah. Come and purchase some of her sweatshirts. She's just had them ordered in, some candles, just get a voucher. Just get a voucher for a Hygge massage stuff.
I'll tag.
I mean, I literally wasn't going to do this selling point, but we might as well now we're here.
Why not? God, yeah, what a that's basically all your Christmas needs sorted.
It is.
Just from our previous guests.
Yes. 100%.
Holy macaroni. Fantastic. Well done, everyone. Well done.
Well done.
Okay.
Well done the people that came on, well done us, and well done you, the listener.
Yes.
Fucking hell, we talk shit, don't we? We talk shit.
Yeah, but people listen. Some people listen. A handful of people listen.
Oh, we love you all.
We do. We really do, both of you. So thank you so much. And we will see you next time.
Yes. If you want to get in touch, send us a message on Instagram at How I Vegan Podcast.
If you're on email, send us an email to howiveganpodcast@gmail.com.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.